after the call and put it on our training sheet, presenting an offer. We'll have Abby watch that a few more times, but and practice it before she actually does it with the client. So.
We did a couple questions when we were going and doing it.
It's all right. As we go through it, I'll answer it and fill it out.
Yeah.
So I just do the draft and then do it. So did y'all do with how much down on the down payment?
20%.
How much?
20%.
Good. Perfect. Are you ready for the call? Question mark. Zoom room 210-844-6434. Password 534225. Period. I sent you a link. Period. In your email. Period. Let's see. I want to see a gallery, not just one. Here we go. Hi. Good morning.
Hi, Tracy.
This is our motorhome. I'd show you around, but it's morning. We're cleaning.
Well, I'm cleaning.
Tracy's cleaning. I'm working. Tracy's cleaning, and your Chula sitting on the window. That's kind of the front of it. This is when you drive, right? And it's our kitchen, and we have a bedroom and a bathroom. It's nice. We like it.
Do you have all the dogs with you?
Just two. We took the little ones. We have a dog sitter watching the other two and watering the garden.
Yeah.
Did y'all get crazy wind? It was crazy wind here yesterday, and y'all were, I know Canyon Lake, it was supposed to be 20 miles an hour.
Wow.
It wasn't that big there?
No, it wasn't. There was some wind in the morning early, but although, yeah, no, it wasn't too bad. It was normal San Antonio wind.
Here she is. I don't know if she's feeling well. She was sleeping this morning. Good morning,
Morning.
Miss Barker. How are you?
Okay, how are you?
Have you had some coffee?
I don't drink coffee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So sorry we woke you up this morning.
That's okay. Just,
So normally, what is a good time for us to start calling in the morning, and what's too early?
it just depends on how I'm sleeping. So
Okay.
don't worry about it. Just call when you call.
Okay. We'll try not to call before 9, but
Mhm.
okay. So we have the draft of the offer, and we may, Abby and Cherry did that. We may make some changes as I walk through it with you.
Okay.
That you may want or that I may want. So Cherry's going to share her screen, and we're going to go through the whole contract, and then we can send it to both of you for initials as soon as you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. So are you able to see it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So the first paragraph is you and the sellers. The second paragraph is a legal description of the property. That we don't know of anything that they're excluding from the property. So if there was, we would put that on paragraph D, but right now we don't know of anything. Cherry, you can scroll down just a little bit.
Okay.
So this is a sales price of $255 and 51,000, 20% down, basically. So 51,000 down. So you will have some closing costs on top of that. Your loan will actually be 204. Okay. We can scroll down. I'm trying to remember what your pre-approval with Jeff was above that, right?
Yeah, I think it was 250.
Okay, we'll get it for 255. So this is the title company that the seller wants to use. Stewart Title. They're a good company. He's a little challenge to work with and kind of condescending to real estate agents, but just we're all aware of that when we start. It's okay. He's going to make us sound bad no matter what. It's just the way he does. So earnest money is $25.50 and option money is $100. So that would be due if they accept the contract. You would need to get that. They may do e-sign or e-check. Sometimes title companies are doing that now, where you just do an e-check for COVID purposes. Otherwise, you'll have to get a check to that title company. And it's not far from you, it's on Bandera Road. So
Mhm.
go ahead and scroll down a little bit. So we're saying that the title policy is at the buyer's expense right here. I think we can say that it's at the seller's expense because right now we're making an above full price offer. So far, they do not have multiple offers, but you never know when they're going to get them. So I don't think we need to give away the whole farm, and we can definitely say the house has to appraise at this point. Once they get another offer, that may change, but is that okay with you to put it at seller's expense?
Yeah.
Okay. If it was guns blazing and we had 10 offers, we'd be putting that at buyer's expense if y'all were willing to pay the extra fee. So the next little paragraph 8.2 that is checked says shortages in the area. This has to do with the survey, and it's if something is unknown on the survey and the title policy, this is a little amendment that would be added to the title policy so that both you and the seller are protected if something else were found in the future that they didn't know now. It's I don't know, attorneys put that in there. I'm not even sure it's worth it, but it's a pretty minimal fee. It's about $75. So we went ahead and put that at the buyer's expense. Go ahead and continue.
Mhm.
So we said on their survey, get us their survey within 3 days. And if theirs is no good, then a new one would be, do they have a survey, Abby? Did you notice if there was one on the MLS?
There was not one on the MLS.
This says if theirs is no good, a new one is at your expense. However, if they don't have one, it's at their expense. Okay. So if for some reason the title company didn't like theirs, a new one would be at your cost. We can change that. I still want it to be a good, aggressive offer so they stop showing and stop collecting offers. So a survey is about $400. Again, this defaults that says if they don't have one, a new one is at their expense.
Okay.
And right now we don't know if they have one. Is that okay with you? I think you froze, Wendy. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Is that paragraph okay with you?
Yes.
Okay. So the next one, objections on paragraph D, that's basically if there's a problem with the title policy, the title company can object within 7 days. We can object within 7 days. The reality is the title company will object. So we don't, have to even really worry about that.
Okay.
Membership in a mandatory owners association. So this does not have a mandatory HOA. Abby, you're pretty confident?
Yep, very confident.
Okay. Okay. So what is a subdivision?
Oxbow.
Okay, you're right. It doesn't. Okay, let's scroll up. So y'all drove through the neighborhood and looked at it, right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Okay, scroll down. There are certain parts of Oxbow not so good, but then there are other parts that are very nice. So it's just kind of a different subdivision. Keep going down to the next page. Cherry. And I'm keep going.
Are we frozen?
Okay. Yeah, and it may be just a little bit too far there. This is going up to the top of this page. A little bit more. Sorry, I can't do it from here. I would do it. Okay, so possession, you get the house when it funds. Paragraph 11. We skipped a page, Cherry. 2 pages, actually. Keep going up. Okay, so this basically says some things we went over in our first contract. Tidewaters are not a problem here. If you weren't in the city limits, you'd get annexed. There could be special taxing districts. There are none here. where you're buying. Transfer fees, if something did need to be transferred, like a warranty of some kind, that would be your obligation to pay for. Usually it's like $100 or something like that.
Okay.
The next paragraph says you've received the seller's disclosure notice, and we're going through that in this email. In fact, Jerry, we need to email her a PDF of the seller's disclosure notice. Okay. And let's scroll on down just a little. Okay. Right there, acceptance of the property condition. So we're saying you're accepting it as is. However, if you look at the paragraph right above, buyer's agreement to accept the property as is does not preclude the buyer from inspecting the property, from negotiating repairs and a subsequent amendment, or from terminating the contract during the option. All you're saying is you don't know anything right now, but you have the right to inspect it. Okay, the next paragraph, lender required repairs. That hardly ever happens, more on VA loans than anything. But if in the appraisal something came up, the appraiser said this has to be repaired in order to this contract to go through, nobody's required to do it, but in order for the contract to go forward, it has to be done. And buyers don't ever do repairs before they own a property. So that means the seller kind of has to do it if they want to move forward. Completion of repairs and treatments. If we do negotiate repairs or during the option period and they don't go do the repairs, then this is how we would go back with them. Residential service contract, that's at 1 year of home warranty. We're going to give you a list of them. You can Google other ones. I have created a whole video on how to pick a home warranty, and when it's time, we'll send you that video in the list. And suggest that you really watch that video because it'll be helpful. Closing, we put May 6th. That means your first payment would be July 1st. Okay, and that's about 30 days from now. So go ahead and go down. Possession, you get the property when you pay for it. We're not putting anything in special provisions. Cherry, if you could go ahead and put a 0 in paragraph 12. We're not asking them for to pay any of your closing costs.
Try 0.00.
Okay. Put space 0 space. There. Okay, now go on down a little bit more. So the title company, we'll get to that in a minute. Prorations, taxes are prorated from the year. So January 1 to closing, they'll pull out that much of taxes from the seller and give it to you so that you can close and go forward. Next paragraph. So you can close and then pay the taxes at the end of the year. Your mortgage company will. Right. Casualty and loss, if something, lightning struck the house or whatever, you both have rights there. You don't have to go forward. You could go forward and let them fix it. Mediation, that says if you got in a fight with the title, with the other the seller, you would go to mediation before you started suing. You are welcome to hire an attorney, but they're not paid through this agreement. Escrow. So you have a mortgage escrow account, and then the escrow, the title company is called an escrow company. Okay. So this is talking about the title company. They're going to figure out the expenses for both parties. They're going to check the history of the title. They'll facilitate the closing. And if you terminate the contract and there was a disagreement about who gets the money, the earnest money back or what have you, this is how we would demand it from the title company. And then if somebody is supposed to, if somebody has the right to terminate and the other party doesn't give them the earnest money back, the next paragraph says all that they're liable for. So attorney's costs, suits, escrow money, all of that. The representations, you're legal adults, you can sign a contract. Federal tax requirements, if the seller is from another company or another country, then they have to pay extra money at closing. So I would put on paragraph 21 and after Wendy Barker at gmail.com and then Will Barker. That way they always email both. Okay. The next paragraph shows the forms that we're using. Third-party financing addendum, and addendum for the right to terminate. And a non-realty items addendum. We need to check that box. Cherry, there you go. All right, perfect. Keep going.
Kathy,
So, yes, ma'am.
on Bill's name, I know he had asked you one time, should it say junior?
Yes,
Yeah,
it should.
okay.
And Sherry, go up to paragraph 1 real quickly.
So it's William R. Barker Jr.
We've not gone through a contract like this yet, right, Wendy? Have you and I together, did we make an offer yet?
Well, we were going to, but then that
Yeah.
house went so fast. I can't remember.
Yeah, so I
exactly
don't
what
think
we
we did this. So in future, once we go through a contract real carefully like this, we don't have to do it every time we make an offer.
Okay.
We'll just, you'll understand all the parts. We'll tell you what we, did. You can look at it. So go ahead and scroll back to where we were, Cherry, paragraph 21 or 22. Yep. Okay, and the next page. This is where we'll sign, and the next page is receipts, where agents will put agents information, etc. That looks good. Be sure there's 3% down below. Was this a 3% commission one?
Yes.
Okay. Then the next page is where they'll receipt the option money and the earnest money. So we can go save those things, and then let's go to the third-party financing addendum. So this is an addendum about your loan. Basically, you're trying to get a loan for 205. It's a 30-year note. Are y'all doing a 30-year note or 15?
I guess we had talked about a 30, but we're
Yeah. So go ahead and
really
put 30 there.
Whatever works better in terms of, when we sell our house and we want to pay this down.
Yeah. So what interest rate did Jeff talk to you about? He mentioned an interest rate.
I want to say 3.25, but I'm not positive. I'd have to pull his paperwork up and see. Give me a minute. I'll try to do that.
Okay, Abby's joining on her phone. Okay, so put 3.5 in that paragraph, and I'll explain why in a minute. And then the next paragraph, put 30.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Get out of here.
Yeah. So what this says basically, Wendy, is if you can't get that loan, are you still with me? Yeah.
Yes.
If you can't get that loan, you can terminate. Okay.
Okay.
And scroll down a little bit. Abby, keep going. If you can't get approved for that loan in 18 days, you can terminate and get your earnest money back.
Okay.
Now you're already pre-approved, but still, go ahead, back up to that, Cherry, that first paragraph, and put 3.25. I don't think that will hurt. Most agents won't even see that. So if you couldn't qualify, what's Jeff got really everything from you, for that loan within 30 days, you could terminate and get your, within 18 days, you could terminate and get your earnest money. That last blank in that paragraph 1 needs to say 1%. Okay. So that's everything. You can save all those changes. There's nothing else on this form. That's what the form is about for you. Addendum for the right to terminate. So this one is what's used with a loan. I don't know. I think I'd because they're not in multiple offers, I might put that it has to terminate. It has to appraise at sales price. The way we have this written here says, if you terminate, if it appraises at 249, you're going to pay the extra 5,000. Why don't we change that to 255, Cherry? Again, if they were in multiple offers, I would want you to consider something else. But right now, this is saying it has to appraise at our sales price within 21 days. And if you don't come down, we can terminate. Okay, does that sound okay to you, Wendy?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yes.
save that. Let me look at the top of the page real quickly, Cherry. Let's make sure that was all filled out right. Yeah, okay, save that, go back. And let's look at that non-royalty items addendum. And then we'll look at the seller's disclosure. So we're asking for the refrigerator, put 0. So for $0, you get the refrigerator. Refrigerators are always as is. So if it's not working right, you know, and an inspector usually doesn't check it either.
Sure.
You can pay extra for the inspector to check it, but save it. And then let's open the seller's disclosure and go through that and let us look at it together. And then also, Cherry, if you'll email Wendy and both Mr. and Ms. Barker a PDF of the seller's disclosure so they have it. Okay, so we cannot say that we've received the seller's disclosure because the seller's disclosure was incomplete. Scroll down though, let's look. So he didn't do the first 2 columns. We're going to take off the paragraph that we said was complete because it's not complete. And I think it's an old seller's disclosure. Cherry, what is the date? Is that the correct seller's disclosure? It may be. The newest seller's disclosure, is it 9/1/19?
This was the one attached to the listing.
I know,
got
but
this from the MLS.
in Zip
Um,
and DocuSign, is that the most current version?
This would be the old one. The new ones are.
Is
me
there a
double
new seller's disclosure? Yeah, I just want to make sure before we go tell that other agent, we can get back into it. Yeah, the seller's disclosure should have been that one you were looking at. No,
Yeah.
it would be in a listing template, I think.
Excuse me.
Let's just find the one here.
Actually, it's a TAR form.
Oh.
Down at the bottom, Texas Realtors. There you go.
This one.
Yeah, 9/19. That's correct. Okay, so their form is correct. I just wanted to make sure it was the right version. We've changed contracts this week. Yeah, 9/1/19. That's it. So let's go back and look at theirs. So basically, we're going to say on the contract that we've not received it, and I'll say in the email to them that we have theirs, but theirs is incomplete.
Okay.
They're complete sections, and we need them to complete it before we can sign it. That's really sloppy. I'll tell you that they did it that way. Let's just keep going though and look at it. They have no sprinkler system. It has a gas water heater, although it's an electric. It has gas heat too and gas water heater. Okay, continue on. The roof is 4 years old. Says they don't know of anything in non-working condition. Nothing is checked here. Keep going down. Everything in these items is not, is okay. They're not aware of any other conditions. Keep going. So it says, are you aware of any other items in need of repair? No. This section is all about flood insurance, and they did not check that first box. So that's section 5. Keep going. I just need to know that when I email them that section 5 and section 1 are incomplete. Continue on. Never done flood damage, not with FEMA. No HOA. Keep going. No lawsuits. No death. By unnatural means. Keep going. No rainwater harvesting. They have not attached a survey. They have no inspection reports. Keep going. It was their homestead. It says they have smoke detectors within the health and safety code. Few people really know that code, so I would take that with a grain of salt.
Uh-huh.
Keep going. Usually I tell my clients to put unknown there. Keep going. So that's their utility providers. Keep going. And this is where you're going to sign. So remember, Cherry, when they sign this, they have to initial every page and then they sign this last page. So, but we're not going to sign it yet because we haven't fully received it. So let's go back to the contract about the seller's disclosure. Change that real quick. So I would go ahead and email this PDF to them after the call to the Barkers. Let's look at the one for
The
family. Yeah.
seller's disclosure, is that what you're saying?
Yes,
I
to
have a
email
copy
that
of
just so you
it.
can look at it, but it's incomplete. We need to get a better one from them.
But
we're
I
gonna
mean, I
email you.
have a copy of it from yesterday.
Then we don't need to email. Perfect.
Yeah.
Keep going. Termination of option. Wait, how long of an option? Go back up. How long of an option did we give?
10 days.
Okay, good. They may ask us to make that less. 7 is okay. Keep going down. Find seller's disclosure paragraph. All these paragraphs this week are contract change. So I used to have the numbers memorized. Now I got a number more. Keep going. Oh, there. So we'll go ahead and check box 2, not box 1. And put 3 days. I would say put 2 days. So that means if they check your accept your contract within 2 days of the execution, they'll get us a new seller's disclosure
Okay,
that's complete. Okay.
okay.
All right. All that sound good to you?
Yeah, were you able to find out about the dishwasher situation?
What
Not
about
yet.
it?
Can
I'm sorry.
you hear me?
Yes.
Not yet. He has not returned my text,
Okay,
but I'll let you know as soon as he does.
okay,
Because on the listing, the MLS sheet, it says that there is a dishwasher, but I know exactly what you're talking about. That one area that has a little curtain. So yeah, I'll let you know.
okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was distracted. Tell me that one more time about the dishwasher. What's the question?
Well, there isn't one. And I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a problem. You know, like.
Is there a hole there, like where a
Yep.
dishwasher is supposed to be?
There is, but it looks like they've just put like a little curtain over it and maybe are using it for storage. But it says on the disclosure list that there's no dishwasher.
Okay. So Abby, that's a good question we need to ask. You know, can there be one? What's wrong? Was it just a bad dishwasher? I'll try to remember to put that on the email with the offer too. So,
You know, my son-in-law's mother doesn't use one. She wants to do her dishes by hand, so it may just be that kind of situation.
yeah. I'm writing myself some notes.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is send this to both of you for signatures. And Abby, not Abby, Cherry, I am going to draft an email. I would just do it in transactions. So I'm gonna draft an email to the agent. If you can text me the agent's email address, you have to look on the MLS and see where they say to send the offer to. Text me the emails, the agent's email address. I'm gonna draft an email in transactions that has my points. Once the Barkers sign it, you can add that PDF to the email as well as Jeff's pre-approval. I'm gonna ask him to send a new one at 2:55, and then you can send that email on. Sound good, Cherry?
Sounds good, yes.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's send it on for signatures. And we'll hear back, today or tomorrow, Wendy. I'm not sure exactly when they'll get back to us. It
Sure.
really depends on what time we send it to them.
And
So,
Kathy,
but
can
it-
you explain the option a little bit more to me?
So that's a period of time where you get to terminate for any reason,
Mhm.
but right away you have your inspections. So the minute we go on a contract, you're going to need to call one of those 3 inspectors we talked to you about.
Mhm.
Abby, Cherry, would you do me a favor and download all their buyer rep paperwork that they signed and send it to them in a PDF again so they have it ready? And in there is the inspector list of the 3 that I recommend. You're going to have to call an inspector, get a WDI. Is the air conditioning, do y'all know how old it is?
I think it said 4 years, maybe. Let me.
Okay, then probably your inspection is good enough without having
years.
to call out an HVAC person.
2
It's
years.
your call.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I think your inspector can just check it rather than having an HVAC company come out. So
Okay.
you do your inspections, we negotiate, we go over the inspection report, we negotiate repairs, either, big items that we want them to do
Mhm.
or money in lieu of repairs. Sellers aren't doing a lot, but they are doing some, especially on the big things. Cracked tile, caulked wood, things like that. They're not going to do anything. It's more like roof, electrical, plumbing,
Right.
those kind of things. And if you're happy with the way that goes, you go forward. And if you're not, you terminate the option, you get your earnest money back.
Okay.
So the option period, you can terminate for any reason.
Okay.
And we have 10 days there. They may ask us to make that 7 days. 5 to 7 days is the norm right now. But since it's not in a contract and not in a frenzy, we put 10.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm bad at making decisions quickly.
Okay.
I stress over it, so that's why I'm asking.
Oh, ask me every question. What else do you want to
Yeah.
know?
Now I'm just, I know this is it's a time where you can't draw these things out, and
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Bill's much better at either yes or no, and so he was like, "You're gonna have to make a decision, if you want this house, you got to say go, So I'm just I just have anxiety about that kind of thing. So and
Well,
one thing
the
that I
good thing
had
about the option is you just lose $100. If
right,
you terminate, you just lose $100. So if you wake up tomorrow and they sign the contract and you say, oh my God, I don't like it, I don't want to do it,
yeah,
we terminate. But you've got time that's the beauty of an option period.
okay. One thing that I do want to check is just to see what the crime statistics are, in the area.
So
So-
zip codes have massive differences in crime.
Oh, sure.
And within one zip code, even within parts of subdivisions. So,
Right.
You can go and check that. So we're going to send it on to you for signatures.
Okay.
As soon as you're ready to sign it and get it back, and we'll send it in.
Okay.
Again, just because they don't have multiple offers now doesn't mean they won't this afternoon. So
Sure.
take your time, but time is of the essence.
Right. Well, and Bill's at school.
Yeah.
So
He could probably sign on his phone. If he
Yeah.
can log into email on his phone.
Okay.
And if he wants to talk, I think Abby could probably explain most of the contract now that I've gone through it with you. Terry, can you unshare your screen? Because I may be in a no phone area for the rest
Yeah.
of the day. Welcome to my motorhome. We're at a campground
Yeah.
and about to go on a long hike. So I would reach out to Abby if he has questions or you have questions.
Okay.
Okay.
So are you catching a lot of fish?
I haven't caught a single one, but I sure have had fun trying.
I would
So-
say, yeah, it's more the zen of the process, I think, for some people anyway.
Yeah. Although I do hope to soon be more of a fish catcher than a fish fisher, but
Mhm.
right now I've been a fish fisher. So All right, I'm gonna bug off.
Yeah.
Cherry, if you can send that out for signatures, and I'm gonna go in and write that email. Actually, Wendy, I'm gonna let you leave. I need to go over something with Cherry
Sure.
real quickly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, bye. Abby, you can leave too if you want.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, so I want to add these people into command as licensee and then today's date. 4.7.2021. That'll be their tag. And then I want you to create a smart plan. I'm in the middle of drafting the smart plan. There'll be 3 emails. One is an all text email, and it'll be what I write, but then below it, I want you to go to the Indeed ad for the showing agents and copy the text of the ad. Okay. Because I said below is a description of it. Take off the part at the bottom where it says email us or your whatever.
Mhm.
Because what I said was, if this sounds like something you're interested, we need to talk about, call us or email us.
Okay.
So read that. That's email number 1. And you know how to create a smart plan?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so it'll be a simple text email, not an HTML. And then the second email is going to be something that's going to say great teams have mission, vision, values defined. And because great teams know where they're going and who they are, and they have a mission, vision, values. Check the attachment and see ours. So I think on the smart plans, you can add an attachment. Double check.
Okay.
Figure out some way to get that mission, vision, values, not the standards and the 15 protocol, just the mission, vision, values page.
Sure.
And then on the third one, it'll be an email saying, hey, here's a reminder of our training program. We're going to be starting soon. And then we're going to attach the red shirt, the most recent red shirt to buyer's agent PDF that you. Okay. We'll redo a smart plan when I get back, because I want to do an ever webinar for buyer's agents on what's a team like, and we can add that into every email. Join our webinar to find out how teams work, how real estate teams work. So, but for right now, then you would get those as soon as you created the smart plan. You would apply that smart plan as a bulk tag to all of those people, so that they get that first email right away. I have a feeling we get more of a response. Those are the new licensees. Those are people that signed up for their test. So they finished their classes, and we may get more from the Indeed ad, although I did change the title of the Indeed ad, and that may help too.
Okay.
Okay,
And-
I'm going to, yes?
Sorry, what's the timeline between these emails? For
I would
second
make 4 days.
Okay.
And then also, if they're not in San Antonio or Helotes or Bernie, I would not add them.
Okay.
So if they're in Church Cibolo, some other city, but if they're in San Antonio, Bernie, or Helotes, that's okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, gotcha.
And those, like I said, periodically we get those emails, maybe once or twice a month from them about all the new license registrations. And
So
we'll
the
just
tag will be just the day we receive them.
because that way we
licensee
can
tag.
go back to certain days and pull multiple ones and send a special email or whatever. As soon as we get the webinar, we can pull the tag and send all of those people a special email.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
right.
So that'll get us some good responses.
Okay.
All right. Do the offer first, and I'm going to go work on that email. Both emails.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.